Right, guys, sorry this took me a while. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to, wrong intro. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to my own channel, to the Laurenz Vescoli channel, Love1607, whatever I'm going to call it. Apparently, I do have an intro. Basically, just haven't gotten rid of my 100% Chelsea intro yet. Just kind of, ingrained, isn't it? I've been doing it for a while. My apologies for this taking ages to actually start. Can you hear me? Can you please hear me? Please tell me, because the way I'm using a mic, I cannot hear whether I hear myself, if that makes any sense. So please let me know in the comments if you can hear me, and then we can get into this, review of tonight's game between Chelsea and DYNAMO Kiev. That would be, very much appreciated. All right, Kalo, I was definitely not sacked. Believe me that much. I was definitely everything but sacked. Thank you, Alex. Thank you that you can hear me. So now we can talk about this. So obviously, Chelsea have tonight beaten DYNAMO Kiev 5-0 away in Kiev in the second leg of the round of 16 in the Europa League. And therefore, we are obviously through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League, obviously after beating Kiev 8-0 on aggregate, which is quite some scoreline. And, let's just talk about tonight's game. Obviously, as, I go on here, basically, I will mention some of your questions and stuff, as well. So, be sure to drop some questions if you have some. Better to do it later on. My light is flickering. I do apologize about that. Not really done that many live streams by myself on this, channel at all, to be honest. So, yeah, talk about the game. When I saw the lineup, I was happy with it. I was happy with the lineup. I didn't really have much complaints at all. It was pretty much what I expected. Kepa wasn't goal. I mean, it doesn't really matter. He's a goalkeeper. Alonso started left back, Zappacosta at right back, centre back two of Andreas Christensen and Antonio Rudiger, midfield three of Kovacic, just the Regista. N'Golo Conte did stay in the side. Ruben Loftus-Cheek actually started. Actually, I did not expect that. I didn't think he would be ready to start just yet, but he did start. So perfect. Absolutely great. Very happy with that. And he had a very good game, in my opinion. Then a front three of Willian on the left, Callum Hudson-Odoi on the right, and Olivier Giroud started up front. And yes, I'm just going to bring this up here as well because I've mentioned it on Twitter plenty. If you don't follow me on Twitter yet, please, the link is down in the description, so follow me over there. I wasn't happy with the fact that Eden Hazard and Jorginho, especially those two, even traveled to the Ukraine. It just made no sense to me. Both of them looked absolutely knackered in recent games, so I didn't really understand the point why he had to come. Why them two had to come, especially Hazard. He didn't even come on. So what was the point? All this did now is him sitting on a plane for more than 6 hours, getting back to London at like 3 a.m. or whatever the time they will get back to London this morning, basically, and then go to Liverpool to play Everton on Saturday. So I didn't really see the point. At least Jorginho came on and got some minutes, so at least there was some point to it. But that I didn't agree with. But with the performance, it was a pretty irrelevant game. We had the game in the bag before it ever started. And we definitely had it in the bag once Olivier Giroud made it 1-0. That's especially why I didn't necessarily agree and understand with the fact, that we took those players. And also that, for example, Ethan Ampadu didn't even make the bench when he made the trip to Kiev. Didn't really understand that, but it was what it was. And we played well. We played a really good game against an opposition, a much lesser opposition. Let's be honest, Kiev are not as good as we are. And especially after we got our first goal of the night, they were, dead and done, if you will. They did try to do a few things at the very start, try to press us, try to, be aggressive, because obviously they were 3-0 down, so they had to try something, didn't they? So that was that. And they tried, fair enough, but, as soon as we got that first goal through Olivier Giroud, which was a very nice goal, because, I didn't have notes now because I'm not doing 100% Chelsea. So let me just lower this camera a little bit as well. Yeah. So what was the first goal again? Wasn't it the corner? Or was the corner the 2-0? I'm being really unprofessional right here. But yeah, obviously Olivier Giroud got the first goal. Can please someone remind me what the first goal was? It's actually ridiculous. I cannot remember for the life of me what the first goal was. And also Arsenal just took the lead, which is slightly disappointing because it would have been fun if they got knocked out. Obviously they're still down, but yeah, that was good. I'm all over the shop here, lads. Give me a second. Just give me a second. But yeah, obviously, like I said, as soon as we got the first goal, that was over and done with. Yes, it was a corner. 5 minutes in. Thank you. Bloody hell. Took me too long. So it was a corner by Willian. I'm pretty sure Ruben Loftus-Cheek got a head on it and kind of just laid it across in the 6-yard box. And then Giroud was just in the right position and tapped it in from close range, which was a good finish. And like I said, it pretty much killed the game off. It was really done and dusted by then, if we're going to be totally honest. The second goal, then was again by Olivier Giroud, following a quality assist by Marcos Alonso. Fair play to Alonso. Fair play to him, because that pass, if he could do that more often, I mean, that'd be class, because that was some cross or some pass right between the lines of the defenders, perfectly into Olivier Giroud's run. And then again, Giroud with a very good finish on his right foot, just past the keeper. We made it 3-0 just before the break, which was, did we really need it? No, not necessarily. But we did make it 3-0 just before the break through Marcos Alonso. A nice 1-2 between Callum Hudson-Odoi and Olivier Giroud down the right. Then Callum Hudson-Odoi putting in a decent cross into the box where Alonso was, and just tapped it in from inside the 6-yard box. And then the second half, I mean, at the start, it was similar to the first half. At the start of the second half, again, they tried to push us a little bit, had a few chances. They actually hit the post. Was that before we made it 4-0? I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, it was before we made it 4-0. You know, Kiev hit the post. Kepa made a very good save in succession. That was first to save, then they hit the post. They really should have scored, let's be honest. But they didn't. And then we made it 4-0 with, again, Olivier Giroud, again, with a corner. I know this time it was a free kick. I mean, their defending was just dreadful, absolutely dreadful. But Olivier Giroud did get his perfect hat-trick, one with the left foot, one with the right foot, and one with his head. Actually, it wasn't a perfect hat-trick because it wasn't all in the same half. So if you want to be perfectly perfect about it, it wasn't a perfect hat-trick. But yeah, you know, he did get that fourth goal. And then later on in the game, in the 78th minute, Callum Hudson-Odoi, to top it all off, made it 5-0, following a very nice assist by Olivier Giroud. So Giroud with a hat-trick and an assist tonight. So fair play to him, very good performance. And Hudson-Odoi, you know, just outpaced the defender and then just slotted it in very calmly. Made it 5-0. And it was good, you know, obviously, we made a few substitutions throughout the game. Jorginho came on. Like I said, he did get a few minutes. He came on for N'Golo Kanté. And Sabacosta was forced off with what looked like a muscle injury in his thigh. And obviously, Azpilicueta came on for him. And then also Pedro came on for Willian just for the last few minutes of the game. But yeah, what is there to say about this game? It was a little bit irrelevant, especially after the first goal. I mean, Kiev just weren't there. But the second half, again, to be honest, I enjoyed it because it was just free-flowing. The lads looked like they enjoyed themselves. So, you know, I'm happy with it. You know, I'm very happy with it, in all honesty, because, yes, it's a long trip and stuff. And, you know, it would have been nicer to have a game like this in a, you know, against a team that isn't as far away as the Ukraine is, as Kiev is. But, you know, when you win 8-0 on aggregate, you just cannot complain at all. And we won 8-0 on aggregate. So, you know, I don't have many complaints. And talking about the performance, I didn't think anyone was poor today at all. For me, you know, of course, you know, Olivier Giroud is the man of the match, is going to be talked about as the man of the match, scored a hat-trick and got an assist as well. But for me, the guy that stood out today the most, stood out as the guy that was better than everyone else, was Ruben Loftus-Cheek to me. He was absolutely unbelievable. Yes, he didn't score. Possibly could have scored one in the first half when he had a decent chance that the keeper saved. But he was just unbelievable. Like, all of our players are better than basically all of Dynamo Kiev's players, like pretty much. But to me, for pretty much all of the game, it just looked like Ruben was just that extra step more better than all the Kiev players compared to the others. Yes, the others were already better, but Loftus-Cheek was just unbelievable. The way he rolled his man, and before Giroud's second goal, before Alonso played the very good cross, like, Loftus-Cheek is unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. And Callum Hudson-Odoi, and I'm a big fan of him, not as a guy, because I didn't like his, you know, transfer request, which, you know, if you know me, you know, not a big fan of that. But, you know, he's a good player, and but he is a little bit overhyped, I gotta say. He played well today, but he's not blasting everything into the ground every time he plays like Loftus-Cheek does. Yes, he scored and got an assist, but other than that, he didn't do anything. And he always scores like the third or the fifth goal. I don't want to be too harsh on him because he had a good game, but he wasn't as standout as Ruben Loftus-Cheek is. And, you know, if he was that good, then he should start over Willian Pedro all the bloody time, you know, even in the Prem. Should stand out like that, you know, in my opinion. He should, and he isn't. And, you know, he should still get more game time. Don't get me wrong. Completely agree. He should get more game time. But, yeah. Read my match ratings. We need player rating. We need player ratings. I mean, there's no point. Well, how am I going to rate Kepa? He made one save. That was a good save. Maybe he made two. All right, give him what do we give him? He didn't concede and he made two saves, all the saves that he could have made. Is that a 10 then? No. But is it? Why shouldn't it not be a 10? Because, you know, he did everything he could possibly have done right. So, you know, why not a 10? So that's why I'm not really into player ratings, especially for these kind of games. But yeah, it was really calm. It was really easy. Let's just hope we didn't pick up any injuries, any knocks to anyone. Like I said, I'm going to get into that again. I thought it was interesting that Ruben Loftus-Cheek started. You know, didn't expect that. He also got the full 90 minutes, which I even less so expected. Like, if he played for an hour, that kind of would have made a little bit of sense. But he played the whole 90 minutes. Didn't understand that at all. Didn't make sense to me at all. Do you know what I mean? But he did, so fair play. So pretty well, he won't play against Everton on Sunday now. Obviously, he was called up to the England squad alongside Ross Barkley. Let's hope they don't overdo it with him, which has happened before. That he got injured with England when he was just about to be fine with us. So let's hope that doesn't happen again. And let's hope that he can start games after that, because he's absolutely unbelievable. He's unbelievable, and he should, without a doubt, be our regular start in that position. Like, it is not even a debate. But yeah, again, I keep forgetting to say this. You know, if you are new here, please do subscribe to my channel. I would massively appreciate that. Also, drop a like on this live stream, on this video. That would be appreciated as well. So, you know, we just hit 2,000 subscribers a couple of days ago. Obviously, it's constantly growing, you know, bit by bit, basically. So if you haven't already, please do subscribe. And yeah, what else is there to say really about today's game? Giroud got a nice hat trick. You know, Higuain will start on Sunday unless his fever isn't better, but I think it should be better. Hazard and, you know, Pedro will start again against Everton. You know, Jorginho, Kante, and Barkley will start against Everton. Emerson will probably come back into the team, so will Luiz, you know, presumably next to Rudiger, and Aspi will start as well. So we pretty much know what's going to happen on Sunday. Let's hope, obviously, we get a win there. Although, you know, with how long the travel is going to be, us having to travel up to Liverpool on Saturday to Everton, I don't think it's going to be easy at all, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if we got a draw. And to be honest, that wouldn't even, you know, I don't think we could blame the players all too much if that were to happen, because it's understandable that they'd be tired, because it's not just the playing in Kiev. Whether you play in Kiev or in London doesn't matter, but it's the flying out there and flying back that makes a big difference. Whether they fly first class and in private planes doesn't matter. You know, it's just flying drains the body. It just does. It's as simple as that. And especially the time they come back to London and stuff, it's not ideal. So I think it would be completely understandable if the results on Sunday wouldn't go perfectly well, which would be very disappointing, but I would understand it, especially by the fact that we didn't leave anyone but Higuain at home. That's why I would have left Hazard and Jorginho and stuff for them, just so we have at least a few completely fresh players. But yeah, you know, that is that. Obviously, let me just go check the current scorelines in the Europa League. Oh, it's 2-0. Well, Arsenal at this stage would be through. Should be disappointing. So let's hope Rennes can do something about that. That would be fun. Valencia are through. Napoli are through. And obviously other games are still ongoing. Ooh, Frankfurt scored at Inter, you know, in Milan. Very nice. Slavia Praga leading Sevilla. Mental. So, yeah, I don't mind. Obviously, tomorrow, you know, kind of morning time-ish, the Europa League draw and the Champions League draw are taking place. I will do a live stream on this channel, a live reaction to this, to the Champions League and the Europa League draw, not just the Europa League. Both of them I will do in one long live stream, because why not? You know, like I said, I don't want this channel to just be about Chelsea. I'm going to make it about Chelsea and, you know, other football as well. So why not talk about the Champions League draw as well? I think that would be interesting. You know, when I do live streams, I'm a little bit more all over the place. When I do my recordings, you know, I realize, oh, I'm a bit all over the shop now. Let me just take a minute and think about what I'm going to say next. Not really happening in a live stream, is it? Not really happening. So yeah, I don't think there is much, you know, else to say on this game today. I'm going to come to your questions in a second, guys. Calm down, in a second. But yeah, you know, if you want to see my reaction to the, you know, Champions League and Europa League draw tomorrow, you know, please tune in. Please subscribe to the channel so you know, don't miss that. Click the notification bell button as well, so you get a notification to your phone when I do go live. I'm pretty sure the Champions League draw is advertised to start at 11:30 my time, which is 10:30 a.m. you know, UK time. So pretty sure it's going to be around then. So, you know, just if you're up early, if you're not in school, if you're not in uni, or if you can watch it in school or uni, I don't care. You know, watch it in school or in uni. Why not? You know, tell your teacher to subscribe if they get you. But yeah, I don't have much more to say. Subscribe, you know, if you don't want to miss out my what's the word, the reaction and the live stream tomorrow for the draw. So that is very good. But yeah, you know, if you have some questions now, talk about some questions, whether that's about tonight's game or the draw, anything, just ask a few questions. Don't have super chat yet because I'm not, you know, for monetization on YouTube just yet. Need a few more videos and watch time and stuff, because that's how YouTube works these days. So yeah, that is obviously very good. Yeah, so if you have any questions that you want me to answer, please, I'll answer a few before I log off, and obviously I'll see you again tomorrow morning anyway, so it's not like it's going to be long. But yeah, you know, if you do fancy asking some questions, ask away. How Curry Pullen, hopefully I didn't butcher your name. How long will it take for Callum Hudson to start? Well, I mean, if Hazard goes, until next season. If Hazard goes, it will take until then, because I don't see Pulisic just being any better than Callum Hudson, in all honesty. Maybe, you know, it all depends that You know, it all depends on what happens in the summer. Obviously, if we have the transfer ban, makes a difference. If Hazard leaves, makes a big difference. If Sarri stays or if Sarri leaves for some weird reason, you know, I did butcher your name. I apologize. But yeah, you know, it all makes a difference. I think he should be a starter soon, but not too soon. Do you know? Do you know what I mean when I say that? Not too soon. Start him in all the Europa League games. You know, obviously, hopefully, we won't have Europa League next season, but start him in all of those games. Start him in every cup game, and then a couple of Premier League games here and there. Don't start him in the Prem every week, unless obviously we have to because he's our best player in that position because Hazard leads and whatnot. And depending on what happens with Willian and Pedro, which again depends on our transfer ban and whatever. And who I think will go through, well, it's 2-0 already to Arsenal. Surely Arsenal can't bottle this now. Surely not. So, I very much doubt that. Hey, Laus, you're right. I thought the Chelsea game was at 7:45 and I missed it. Yeah, happens to the best of us. But obviously, as the game was in the Ukraine, that made sense because 7:45 UK time would be like 9:45, 10:45 in local time in Kiev. So, that kind of makes sense why that didn't happen. But yeah, you can go back to the start of this live stream and hear me talking about the game if you missed it. It was a good performance, especially Loftus-Cheek and Giroud stood out, but no one was particularly bad. Hudson Odoi also did well, especially for the goal and his assist. Alonso next game, Omar Shalabi. Tricky one. Again, played well. Played well against Spurs as well. Played well against Kiev last week. Actually, not so much in the home leg, but did all right today. I would sign Emerson. I think we need to give Emerson the time. If you look at how much time Alonso had to be bad throughout this season, Emerson deserves time to get better because Emerson hasn't played a lot for Chelsea Football Club in the Premier League. Because if you see him play in Europa League, he usually does well. And in the English football, not as well. So to me, that's just taking time. Do you think Sarri trusts Ruben Loftus-Cheek? I think he uses his injury as an excuse and does not start him in critical games. No, I completely disagree. I think Maurizio Sarri knows, just like a lot of us, that Loftus-Cheek is the best option in that number 8 position in that left centre midfield spot. And I think he will start him as soon as he can, hopefully. Hopefully I'm right on that. Hopefully. But yeah. Because I love Loftus-Cheek. I think he's by far our best talent, much better than Callum Hudson-Odoi. But yeah, who do you want to win the Champions League? Now, that is an interesting question. A question that you could ask tomorrow in my live stream when I react to the Champions League draw. That's a cheeky plug. Do I want to win the Champions League? I mean, to be honest, I don't really care. If Buffon was still at Juventus, I'd say Juventus. But Buffon is not at Juventus anymore. So anyone but the English teams is who I want to win the Champions League. I know some people will strongly disagree with that, but I believe that. Just no one but the English, and everyone but the English teams, to be honest. Other than that, I don't really care, in all honesty. Am I crazy for saying Loftus-Cheek reminds me of Zidane? A bit crazy, because Zidane wasn't as strong and more smooth. I mean, Loftus-Cheek is very smooth, but he's not quite Zidane in that sense. Wan-Bissaka and Chilwell would have been amazing signings had we not had the transfer ban. I don't necessarily disagree, although Chilwell I think is slightly overrated. Not saying it's bad by any means, but I think there is better left backs to get in that position, and also cheaper ones because him being English makes him. Oh, I do apologise. Makes him ridiculously expensive. But yeah, if we sell Hazard and get Lozano, Lorenzo, I'm assuming you mean Lozano, and Pepe, would you be happy with that, Laurenz? No. If we sell Hazard and we don't have a transfer ban, we need to sign someone big. Like, I don't know, a Dybala, Ousmane Dembele. We need to sign someone big. No, none like that. We should sign Lozano and Pepe for selling Willian and Pedro. If we don't have a transfer ban and we do that, then we should sign those two. Nothing to do with I completely lost my wording here. Nothing to do with Hazard, basically. Why do you hate Zappacosta so much? I don't hate Zappacosta. I just don't rate him particularly highly. I think going forward, he's actually all right, but defensively, he just can't defend to save his life. Yeah, I don't, hate Zappacosta by any means, but just don't think it's quite good enough for Chelsea, in all honesty. Pepe's better than Dembele. I mean, I would disagree with that. And also, it's not, as much as it is about signing quality, if we lose Hazard, we also need to sign names to attract other names, if that makes sense to you. But yeah, being greedy here, but what game should I go to in April would be the best? It's my first time. I mean, I don't know the fixture list off by heart. If you can go Liverpool or United away, that's going to be class. He's an average Pedro. Are you mental? Have you seen who's won Dembele? He's ridiculous. Would you rather Chelsea win the Champions League or England win the World Cup? Well, Edward Matthews, as I'm not English, I don't give a flying fuck about England winning the World Cup, quite frankly. Unless Loftus-Cheek scores the winner, then yes, because I love Loftus-Cheek. But yes, definitely Chelsea win the Champions League. I'd rather Chelsea win the Europa League than England win the World Cup, to be completely honest with you. Comparing it to Austria winning the World Cup, probably still Chelsea winning the Champions League. Because Austria is not going to win the World Cup, are they? Or they would be quite class. When will we play Drinkwater? Well, hopefully never. Quite frankly, hopefully never. Hopefully we sell him ASAP. I don't care whether we have a transfer ban or not, because that is a bit silly. At Dimas Moha, the draw is tomorrow. Who do you think we'll get? Well, I will do a live stream for that tomorrow. Champions League draw and Europa League draw. Tune in for that. You know, we can talk about who I think we will get, who I want to get, because obviously the Europa League games are still on right now, so it is a little bit tricky to say who I want, but I don't know who's going to be through necessarily. I do know that I would like to go to Valencia. Naples is a bit far from where I live, and I can't really fly there, so I'm not a big fan. Definitely don't want Arsenal if they go through. Would love Frankfurt, would love Milan if they still turn that around. Villarreal are currently going through. That would be nice. So yeah, one of them ones anyway. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. Is it time for Marina to step down? Whether it is or not doesn't matter, because she's not going to step down. We will get Napoli. Well, hopefully not. Looks like Inter and Sevilla are in trouble. Yes, it sure does look like that. But yeah, you know, let's do like 2 more questions or something, and then I'm going to log off, and then you know, I'll see you again tomorrow. Are you okay with Ziyech? Completely. Apologize again if I butchered his name. I know he's Moroccan, isn't he? Not quite sure how to pronounce Ziyech. I just don't know how to pronounce his name. I do speak a bit of French, but that you know, letter combination, I just don't get how to pronounce it. Thank you, Corey. I don't know how you pronounce your name. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you tomorrow. How the hell am I not English? Well, don't know. I mean, born in Austria, parents Austrian. My granddad's Italian, but you know, just not English, am I? Sorry. But yeah, why I don't hate Drinkwater. It's just not good enough. I don't have to hate everybody, you know. I love Didier Drogba, but I wouldn't want him to play for Chelsea right now because he's 40. There's no point. Like, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't want John Terry to play for us right now because he's 40. There's no point. Do you know what I mean? It's 1 p.m. here in Arizona. Fair play. It's not 1 p.m. here in Austria right now. It's actually 9:30. But yeah. How did I learn English? Well, school system in Austria is quite good. Fair play. We don't do, well, actually we do a lot of things right. No, I'm not English at Football Press. And yeah, so how I learn English. I did this in my Q&A video a couple of days ago. Go watch that. Yeah, so school in Austria, obviously. And then when I was 16, I lived in Ireland for 6 months. Did have an Irish accent after that. And then obviously with the whole YouTube thing, just been speaking to English people so much and going to England so much that, you know, the English just comes and it doesn't go away anymore. That's why the Irish accent kind of disappeared, and now it's more of an English mixed accent. Like Football Press said, you know, that I sound South African. A lot of people say that, probably because South Africa has a bit of a German influx from the colonization and stuff. Going into history lessons here, and obviously they're still English speaking. How old am I? I'm 23 and I look 15. We all know that. Thank you. But yeah, I think that is enough for today. Thank you, Omar. You know, great job, Laurenz, all the way from Cairo. Not been to Egypt. I do want to go. I just answered your question, Gerline. Yes, Gerline. Not going to try to pronounce your surname. I do apologize. But yeah, that's how old I am. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. That would, you know, I massively appreciate it. Again, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Just keep it growing. Just keep it growing. That will obviously be nice. Tune in to the live stream tomorrow that I'm going to do for both the Champions League draw and the Europa League draw. Probably going to be a long draw. Hopefully the UEFA don't drag it out as they always do between obviously the things and with their silly explanations. But yeah, you know, leave a like on this video. I would massively appreciate that. Thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea, up the football, up the everything, because I'm not on 100% Chelsea anymore. And yeah, I'm not gonna see it when I see it. I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Are we gonna see any collabs? Yeah, Lisa. Are we? Yeah, Lisa. We're definitely gonna see a fair few collabs in the next couple of weeks with a few people. We'll definitely see that. But yeah, again, thank you guys for watching. Do subscribe, and yeah, I shall see you tomorrow for the draw reaction.